Shout out John in the building. What's good? What's good? Like I said, once again, we are doing a giveaway right now. It's going on right now for a random VeVe Digital collectible. All you have to do to enter into the giveaways in the comment section of this space, tag 3 people, one of those being Crunchyroll, hashtag Anime After Hours, and throw a gift to your favorite anime. You can enter in as many times as you like. The more entries you have, the more likelihood you have of winning. It is randomized. We will call the winner in just a bit, so feel free to run it up.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you give me a hey, Nikki's there. Hello. Let me know if my levels are okay. Perfecto. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to be better with the chat today. So if you guys have anything to weigh in on today's topic, which is anime and manga demographics, I would very much appreciate it. I hope everybody's having a very nice Thursday. It was a rough day at work for me today, so I'm hoping we have some fun talking about anime tonight.
Um, Also, too, I want to let everyone know, like, this is a very visual experience too. So once the live stream goes up, feel free to check that out. You can open up the live stream, and still be in a space and hear that, but still see the visuals. Okay, so we are ready to go. Here we go. And if OMW, if you can just pin that to the top for me. OMW, can you pin the live stream to the top for me? Um, okay, we are about to go. You ready to go live? I'm about to click the button. Okay, here we go. And we are live. Let's go. Countdown, countdown. That is not the countdown. Okay, hold on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I wanted something a little bit more. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
Oh, there I am.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out everyone here. We are live. We are live. We are live. Oh, appreciate that pin on Dub. Let's go, let's go, let's
That looks better.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co-host, Nicki Gee, OMW, and together we're bringing you a little something we like to call Anime After Hours, where we talk all things anime, we chill, have a good time. This is about the fandom. It's about the fandom. Appreciate everyone that's coming through. Once again, this is a live podcast. It's a live podcast. So whether you are on X, whether you are on YouTube, whether you are on Twitch, whether you're on Nicki's channel, also shout out Nicki's channel. Feel free to come through. You can weigh in on the conversation. You can be a part of the conversation. You can be a part of the show. This does air on Spotify. And hold on, real quick. One thing, because I would be remiss if I didn't bring attention to our sponsors. Not sponsors, our affiliate partners. So without further ado, in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up? My name is Emoji, and I'm here with Nicki Gee and OMW, and we're bringing you Anime After Hours. But before we do that, I want to give a brief shout out to our affiliates, VeVe Digital Collectibles. VeVe is the world's home of premium collectibles, comics, and artworks from brands that you love, like Viz Media, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, and more. Take your collecting to the next level with VeVe Digital Collectibles, and check out the link in our description box below, or use the QR code that you see on the screen for $10 off your first purchase.
This is an interactive show and podcast recorded live in front of an online audience. Those in the crowd on X are welcome to join in on the conversation, but know that all conversations that take place during the show will be published across multiple platforms. With this being a live interactive show and podcast, please be mindful of your speech.
And now, let's get back to the show. All right, we are here. We are ready.
Ready?
I think so. Dub, are you ready?
Yes,
bro?
yes.
Yo, let's go. And you got the thing pinned to the top, the live stream?
Yes.
Yo, it's lit. It's lit. Let's go. Where's my yays real quick? I need to bring that up. Here we go.
Yay!
There we go. Yeah, welcome everyone to the show. Anime After Hours, where we talk all things anime all the time. I just made that catchphrase up. It sounds good. I'm keeping it. It's sticking. Once again, shout out to our affiliates. We are doing a giveaway today, courtesy of VeVe Digital Collectibles. In order to enter into it, you just have to be in the space, and you have to like and repost both the space and the live stream. Both have to be reposted, liked and reposted. In order to enter. The live stream is pinned to the top of the space. So if you're in the space, you'll see it up top. But how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling?
Feeling ready to go.
I know that this was a topic that you definitely wanted to get into. And I remember us talking about it specifically during Back of the Class, a former show that I had done, and you went into like a pretty crazy breakdown as far as like how deep anime goes, which I thought was dope. And just reflecting on that, I was kind of like, we need to have like a show about this. We need to have like full coverage talking about as far as like just cause I feel, and here's the thing, right? I feel that there's, because of what's mainstream, there may be a certain idea as far as what it is, but there's more than that. There's layers. There's different, right. So I thought that this would be an awesome topic to have. I know I came in off of a lot of shonen. OMW, the same, right? You came in off a lot of shonen anime, correct?
Yeah, shonen was the main category.
Okay. Yeah. So 100%. So it'll be cool to kind of like dive in to see, well, what else exists, because a lot of times, and this kind of like goes back with what we were saying with last week's episode on recommending, how to recommend anime to people. And a lot of it has to do with, well, what type of person are they, or what do they like, because it is a wide range, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be cool to kind of like dive into that and to get into that. You want to know something interesting though?
What?
Okay. So after last week's episode, right? I actually tried to attempted to do what we spoke about, introduce someone to anime.
Oh, okay.
So I did have a show, and shout out VeVe Magic. We have a show from Tune Down to Tokyo, and I introduced her to her first anime, which was Your Name. And like, it's and here's my accomplishment. Here's why I feel accomplished, right? Because it hit emotions. Like she cried during it. And that's the thing, right? How it affects people, how storylines affect people, and I think that that's one of the craziest things when it comes to the medium of how these stories are told. No doubt a lot has affected you.
Oh yeah, for
just different story. So Nicki, how do you kind of like? Well, I guess you know what. Let's bring it back for a bit. How does someone choose the right anime for them? Right? Like, how do they know, what to even dive into? Because it's a huge, wide world of anime.
If I was going to talk to somebody and they were like, I want to watch an anime, or I want to pick up a manga, I would say that there are 5 demographics that you should be aware of because the way that they're made, basically, is that they're made with these demographics in mind. They're made for these types of people. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody who's outside of that demographic can't enjoy it. That's why shonen is so popular, because so many people outside of the demographic of shonen enjoy it. But there are 5 main ones that I'm going to talk about. So the first one is Kodomomuke, which is for children.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be your Pokemon and your Digimon. Okay, so that would be the protagonist is a child, and they're doing things that are not quite, there could be some real emotional depth. Not saying you're not going to cry, but the target audience is for children. Then there's shonen. Shonen's main target audience is for young boys, young teenage boys. Okay, and that's the most popular genre, especially if you're talking about anime that crosses over to the West. It's the one that gets the most attention. That's why last week all of you guys were like, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. because shonen is so popular over here. Next is
I feel you.
Next is shoujo, which is mainly made for young girls, teenage girls. Teenage girls. And that deals with, high school romances, magical girls, things like that. This is just a basic breakdown. Then you have seinen, which is for older teens and young adults. And that is more mature storylines that would interest an older man. May not, there could be stories about high school age characters, but there'll also be ones about men who are a little bit older and who you could probably relate to that way. And then the last one is josei, which is for older women, which is women who are 18 plus. And a lot of them is also romance, a lot of stories that have to deal with office romances and things like that. And they just go, basically, when you talk about seinen and josei, you're going into stories that are going to be deeper than you would get with a shoujo and a shonen. If you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I get that, and cause here's the thing, right? I think a lot of times maybe the misconception too is that when it comes to anime, it's like you may look at it as gore, right? And sometimes people may think that, oh, if it's gory, then that's kind of like that's for older, people, or for adults, or it wouldn't fit the shonen genre, which isn't necessarily the case. And that's one of the things that I kind of like I have to explain. It's not necessarily like, the violence or lack of violence or what have you. It's more of like the maturity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna throw a couple of popular titles from each demographic, so you kind of understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, so when we're talking about shonen, we're talking about, obviously, Dragon Ball is a huge one. My Hero Academia is also shonen. Demon Slayer, Naruto, Bleach, Spy Family, these are all shonen animes. Okay, so these are written for teenagers in mind. When they're making, all of the merch and they're putting their manga out, this is who they want to buy this comic. When we're talking about shoujo, we're talking about Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Fruits Baskets, My Love Story, Nana. Now, My Love Story is interesting. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that manga, but it's a shoujo manga, but the main character is actually a man, so that it doesn't always have to be a girl as the main character. Just like in shonen, it doesn't always have to be a boy. Okay? Popular seinen. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just saying, yeah. So more so like who the target audience is, right?
Exactly.
Not necessarily who the main character is, but who are you targeting in this type of storytelling, and who's going to be receptive to it.
Exactly. So just because in My Love Story the main character is this big, strong, beefy-looking guy, it's still targeted towards young girls who want to read about this guy having his first love with this really cute girl who's completely opposite to him. When we do seinen, we have Vinland Saga, which is a historical anime.
I like Vinland Saga.
That's a seinen.
Loved it.
It's a much more mature theme than your regular shonen, and it goes through his whole life. So you're not just seeing him as a young teenager, you're continuously watching him grow up into a man. So you're able to kind of get more in depth in the story than when you're reading a shonen and you're mainly staying with him when he's this age. So Vinland Saga, Parasite, which is a horror, a sci-fi kind of horror story.
I like Parasite too.
I love Parasite's one of my favorites, and so he's a teenager, but the story's actually written for an older audience. If you go into the story and all the different, the mystery and stuff like that, you can kind of see why. Tokyo Ghoul, also written for an older audience. One Punch Man, which is probably going to surprise
Tokyo
people.
Ghoul isn't a shonen?
Tokyo Ghoul is not a shonen. Tokyo Ghoul is a seinen. One Punch Man is also one, and so is Love is War, which is a pretty popular romantic comedy by the same author as Oshinoko.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that one. I always put One Punch Man as a shonen too. I always thought it was like.
Yeah, I thought One Punch Man was definitely shonen for sure.
Well, you have to think of it like this, okay? Now, this isn't always the case, but what is it? Saitama's his name, right? He's a grown ass man, isn't he?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
True.
Yeah, you're right.
You kind of have to.
But
Sometimes
then
you
you
have.
have Goku, who is a grown man.
But you
No,
start.
but he started as a kid.
He started
started
as a
as a kid, you're
kid, and
correct,
you
you're
also
correct.
have to think that the way that Saitama is written and the different characters and the different women that are a part of the story, how they work into it, it's definitely a bit more complex than your regular Dragon Ball comic, which is mainly let's fight, right?
Definitely.
It's always just about, it's mostly just about the nuance and the complexity of the anime that you're watching. So when you have Josei, I'm sorry, go for it.
I just have a question on that then.
Mhm.
Would Attack on Titan be considered a shonen or a seinen?
It's shonen.
Stinning.
Really?
Even-
But
yes.
it goes through his adult
It
life
does.
as well.
You're absolutely right. But for the demographic for that one is shonen.
So you know what I kind of like am kind of like torn when it comes to that show. I feel like, and maybe this is a me thing. Maybe it's just a me thing. But I feel like the show definitely 100% starts out shonen, 100%. But I feel like as the show progresses, especially towards the later seasons, it turns into a seinen. And not necessarily because he's an adult. The reason why I say that is because of the gravity of what's happening.
I
Like
could agree with that.
like it's very mature storytelling once it gets towards the end and he's like you know, trying to figure out like does the ends justify the means and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of even like with Fate, like the Fate series, where you have these story points where no one's really good, or the idea of what is right can be questioned. But yeah, I do want to say real quick, because we do have an interactive podcast. We have someone that came on stage, so I do want to say what's up to them real quick. Who was our winner of the pre-show giveaway? John, what's good, bro? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Emoji. I'm gonna win, Nikki. How y'all doing? Much appreciated. Thank you so much. You actually guys made me reload VeVe as we spoke, so I could go ahead and bring that thing in. I still have some collectibles over there, including the Labracorn, of course. But it's hilarious because, during your entire discussion, by the way, it was very helpful, Nikki. My daughter has been talking my ear off, commenting on every single thing. Okay, what the very first thing she said in the pre-game show was that the music that you guys were playing was Madoka Magica, which I did not know.
Yes.
But she goes, "Oh, that's that show I watch." And so from the get-go, she was much more clued in than actually me, because she knows a lot more of the contemporary anime than I do. Like I know like 1970s, 1980s stuff, but like she knows all of the like 2000 and on stuff, right? So she's been commenting and she's been saying, yeah, that's a shonen, or yeah, that's a seinen. So just letting you know, like, when you're sharing the information, people are definitely listening. People might even be debating, but it's like, actually I agree with you. I think One Punch Man also is seinen because because I was laughing, right? And because I'm an old man, I get all the inside old man jokes, right? So like they go back to like Ultraman era, like to the 60s and the 70s and all that kind of stuff that it's name dropping. A kid wouldn't necessarily have grown up with, but an old man would have, right? Oh my goodness, no, you can give Rex when it's time. Please. This is a recorded space. We'll talk later, Dr. John. But anyhow, I just wanted to let you know that that's all happening on the side. All right, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for coming up, John. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
Oh, also, real quick, I love that your daughter is a part of this anime after hours discussion. Families are welcome. Thanks for popping in, John and daughter John. We appreciate y'all.
Daughter John.
I actually have a comment in my YouTube from I think it's pronounced Grosvenor McCaffrey, who actually says One Punch
definitely
is a parody of shonen, which makes perfect sense as to why it would be seinen. That makes so much sense that it's a parody of what shonen would be. So that's I totally understand. That's awesome. And he also says, would Hatalia be shonen? I actually am not sure what Hatalia would be put under. I would put it under maybe seinen or yosei, considering that the audience is so female oriented. Do you guys know what Hatalia is by any chance?
I don't. I haven't seen it.
Hatalia is an older anime where every single country in the world is personified as a anime character, pretty much. So America, Britain, Japan. So So because it's called Italia and the Axis Powers, so the main 3 characters are Italy, Germany, and Japan. So, and then you have other characters like that. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about Josei before we move on to my next little topic. Okay, so Josei is probably my favorite category of my demographic. I am a older woman. And this, so Josei is aimed at adult women, so that would be Paradise Kiss, which even though is about a teenagers, it's also it would be a Josei. Princess Jellyfish, Honey and Clover, Love is Hard for Otaku, which is a very popular anime, and Yuri on Ice, which was huge about 10 years ago and still quite popular. People really want a movie to come out that they kept promising and it never happened. So
I remember Yuri on Ice.
Yes.
I like the opening for that.
Yes, good song. So those are our 5 demographics, okay? And so my next little thing is what I call surprising animes. So animes you wouldn't think would be under those demographics. But if anybody wants to come up, is anybody ready to come up and say something before we move on, or
No, we're good
just
so
move
far.
on?
Well, I'll say feel
All right,
free
cool.
once again. Anyone that wants to, feel free to come request anytime. This is an interactive podcast, so feel free to do that. But we're diving into anime, so either hit us up in the chat. You can hit up my chat. You can hit up Nikki's chat, obviously, or you can come up if you want to weigh in. But Nikki,
I'll say one second, one little bit, Mochi, because I know we're talking about anime, but a lot of the anime that we're talking about has foundations in manga, right? And so, just to give a little backstory, like even in manga, the anthologies over there you can see are very specifically targeted towards the demographics that Nikki is being brought up. Like, for instance, when you're talking about shonen, like it's literally called Young Jump, right? Or Shonen Jump, right? So
yes,
like,
exactly.
Like
Shonen
the kids
Jump
know where to go, or the old guys know where to go, right? So they have their own places where they will find the manga, and so that's why it distinctions sometimes, even though it's like questioning, oh, should it be in there? So definitely there's some genre change or even demographic jumping things, but if it's found in a particular manga anthology and then it gets translated into an anime, people will still call it, a shonen or seinen, depending on where its origin in manga came from, right? Like literally from what pages it was ripped from.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Appreciate that. And then Nikki, I want to jump over to you, but I just want to also to remind everyone that is in the audience that we are doing a giveaway today, courtesy of our affiliate partners, VeVe Digital Collectibles. So all you have to do in order to enter into that giveaway is to like and repost both the space that you are currently in on X and the live stream, which is pinned to the top. You must like and repost both of them, and and your PFP has to be here at the end of the show, which runs around, about maybe 40 more minutes from now. So definitely do that if you are interested in entering into the giveaway. All right, Nikki, what else do you got for us?
All right, so this is my little surprising animes. So these are some popular animes that people have watched, obviously, that probably wouldn't be in the demographic you would think it is. All right, so has anybody heard of the movie A Silent Voice?
Yes.
Anybody? Have you heard it?
Yeah, isn't that from the same guy
Silent
that did
Voice is a story about a...
Can you hear us? You can hear us, right?
I can hear you. Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Oh, my bad. Same person that did your name, right?
I don't know if it's the same director. I'm not sure, but
okay.
It is kind of it's like in the same vein. It's about a former bully who turns into a social outcast and decides to reconnect and befriend the girl that he bullied, who is a deaf girl. This is very emotionally in-depth, very, very sad story. It's actually a shonen, which I'm sure surprised a lot of people when they go and they look that up. It was written as a shonen manga by the same author of To Your Eternity, which is a currently running shonen manga. And it's and I thought that was kind of surprising when I was kind of researching these different things, because I would definitely put it more in the seinen if I was going to put it into it, because the character gets older, but it's a shonen. Let's see what else we got. Your Lie in April emoji.
Yay, let's go. Hold on, I gotta hit a yay on that. I gotta hit a yay on that. That is one of my favorite animes of all time. It really, and it's depressing. It's very depressing, but it's still one of my favorite anime because it's about music and like it hits me like everything when they talk about music. It resonates with like I feel it. I feel everything about that
I can
anime.
hear your
But I'm
voice
sorry.
getting
Let me
emotional as you're
digress.
talking about it right
I
now.
am emotional. That anime. I love that anime. But okay, you were gonna mention it. Okay, what? So what about your line, April?
It's shonen, obviously.
Hmm.
Which I was also kind of surprised looking at the. I mean, you said that you knew it was shonen because of the main character. I don't know that much about it, but looking at the art, I assumed it probably would have been seinen. But no, it's for
Hmm.
it's shonen, and that kind of took me by surprise. I'm maybe other people were as surprised as I was, but I was surprised.
Mm. It
And
like
let's see, the last one, very very. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Oh no. I was just gonna say a lot of times I also too look at as far as how complex the storytelling is, and I actually like look at
Mm-hmm.
like Fate, the Fate series as like as kind of like my I guess my grading thing, because even though like obviously there's lots of
Right.
action and
Okay.
stuff in it, but the messages in that show are for adult like they would fly over a kid's head, and I think that that's kind of like for
Well,
me when
yeah,
it hit me as
it.
far as like. Mm-hmm.
I
No, what were you
think
saying, Nikki?
now I'm not 100%. For the Fate series, I think it started out as a novel or a game. One of those
Yeah,
came first, and I can't
not
remember which one it
a
was.
visual novel, visual novel.
Not a graphic novel. It was yeah, because I know I read the same work by him, The Garden of Sinners, which I've seen a couple of the
Mm-hmm.
movies. Same author. So I can't remember if it started out as a novel first or if it was a game first. But yeah, definitely older
Hmm.
audiences for Fate, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Well, I
my
mean,
last
also
one,
too,
very
since it
very
started out as
popular
like.
romantic. Yep,
No, I was just gonna say also too because it started as like
go
an
on.
erotica thing, so that's kind of like definitely
Yes,
for
yeah,
What,
adults.
definitely.
fake me? Really?
Fate, Fate Stay Night, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Kay in the
so,
chat also just said it was an eroge, so which I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
knew. So but I was like, should I mention that? I don't know if I should mention that.
it's okay, it's okay.
Okay.
We're all adults, but
I
yeah,
mean,
what were you saying,
there's
Nikki?
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, my
Hey.
last surprising one is a very popular
Hmm.
romantic comedy called Horimiya, which kind
Hmm.
of blew up on the scene a couple years ago. Very very funny show, very very sweet. Also shonen. It started out as a webcomic for young boys, and I was like, when I first watched it, I was like, oh man, this has to be like shoujo or josei. Nope, Horimiya is for boys. I was like,
Hmm.
damn, really? I'm just getting
So
blown away every second here.
so Nikki, can
Oh
I ask
yeah,
you a question real quick? Okay, so
sure,
on
sure,
the
sure.
vein of kind of like so we're kind of like breaking down as far as like what these different animes are, like the target and stuff like that, or if for someone new, right, like that may be diving into anime or like
Mm-hmm.
looking as far as well where to start and stuff like that, how would you kind of like help them to use these, I guess, these different points to for them to pinpoint as far as well where do I start or where do I go, or what may be something that I might be into.
I would kind of ask them, what kind of books do you like to read? What kind of TV shows do you like to watch now?
Hmm.
Do you want a story do you mind a story with a young protagonist? Do you like reading young adult novels? Do you want somebody who's older? Do you want something that's crazy in depth and, kind of horror? It really depends on the person. There are so many different types of anime out there with all, and
Hmm.
I mean, people think cartoons, they think kids, but that's just not the case. Not when it comes to anime. I mean, obviously, yes, there are anime that are made for children. Pokemon, Digimon, I one with the cat that I cannot think of the name right now, but
Doraemon.
I can't think of its name right now, but I can.
Do-
Yeah, that's
Doraemon.
it.
Mhm.
That's made for yep, that's made for children, obviously. But you kind of with anime, you can kind of grow with it. Like I started off watching shonen and shoujo, but then as I got older, I was like, man, these stories are just too slow for me. I'm not liking how two characters are will they, won't they, will they, won't they. I want to jump into a romance story that is a romance, and they have it. They have it for you. There's there's something for everyone when you go into anime and manga. That's just the way it is.
So
So I
can I
mean,
ask
you
can I
really
ask you
can't
another
just be
question?
like, yeah.
So with that, right, specifically with your journey, right, and as you kind of like start, because
Hmm.
I would assume when you first started watching, you were watching stuff for younger audiences because you were a kid at the time, right? So what kind of like
Yeah.
clicked for you when you started looking at, more mature things or more things that were, geared like, like these other demographics other than the shonen or shoujo genre? What hit for you? What show was that hit for you? Like why? Like, you know.
So even though this show is about anime, I think I am probably more of a manga reader than I am of an anime watcher. I,
Okay.
I read manga almost. I think I probably read it almost every single day,
Mm.
which is maybe sad, but it's the truth. And so a lot of the time when you follow these manga along and you get these shoujo books, which is what I mainly read, which shoujo, even though I was watching shonen because when I was growing up, that's all they really gave you was shonen.
Mm-hmm.
They gave, Toonami, they had Rurouni Kenshin, they had Yu Yu Hakusho, they had Dragon Ball. They had these stories that were made for boys, but some of them had a lot of emotional depth. But I always gravitated towards the romance between the two main male and female characters. That's just what connected me to these shows. I just love a romance, and that's so starting from there, Kenshin and Karu, and seeing their relationship, I started reading more stories about characters that were falling in love. But sometimes those characters, and especially for younger audiences, it's a lot of will they, won't they, prolonged. You don't know if they're really going to get together, or you do, but it's taking forever. And so as I got older, I was like, oh, I don't have time for this. I just want you guys to get together so I can read what that's gonna be like. So I moved up to josei, which is a lot of the relationship rather than them getting together. It's being in the relationship and dealing with those trials and tribulations, because that's what interests me as a reader or a watcher. Because there are some josei anime, even though it's probably the least animated out of all the 5 genres, unfortunately, because us poor older girls don't get a lot of anime.
So, I have another question to ask you, right? Because this actually touches on a good
Hmm.
topic, especially with the other show that I'm doing, with Magic, who's in the audience. But so, this show, I'm kind of like introducing her to anime, right? And it's funny because what you're saying right now
Right.
is one of the exact same things that she said, as far as going into it thinking that, everything is about action, everything is about fighting, it's about like, but that's just that one, that one area of things. And one of the animes that we're going to
Yeah.
be doing a review for soon is Wolf Children. Well, first of all, have you seen that movie?
Yes, I own that movie.
Okay, all right. So,
Yes, I have seen Wolf
and
Children. Yeah.
you can correct me if I'm gonna guess and think about a guess as far as what that is. But would that be a josei?
I could put it under josei. It's a movie, so it's hard to directly put
Mm-hmm.
it into a demographic, but I would say josei because the main character is a mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And
it's all kind of from her point of view.
yeah, true, true. And even, with that story, it's focused on, as far as that connection with her and raising kids and stuff like that. And I think for her, like for referring to Magic, it was something that kind of like stood out, as far as like, oh man, like this is deeper than just like what I thought. There's stories for everything and stories for everyone. And I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about
Exactly.
this medium, when when you do dive in and give it a chance. But I'm sorry, I kind of like jumped into something, but you were getting into something. My apologies.
No, was I? I don't even remember. But no, I agree with you on Wolf Children.
Hmm.
If I was gonna put it I would put it Josei and then maybe Seinen. I really don't know because the narrator is the daughter and the main character is the mother, so it's definitely a very female-focused movie. So I would say Josei, but I really don't. I'm really not 100%. So don't quote me on that. That's just my opinion.
Got it. Did you mention the this specific anime or manga that kind of like made you look at things outside of like just the perception that you had before?
I don't know.
I
if
guess your
there's
first
one.
Josei or
Maybe
Seinen?
Paradise Kiss.
Okay.
Yeah, my first Josei would probably be Paradise Kiss. So there is a very, very wildly popular shoujo manga called Nana, which I read when I was in high school. And even though the characters are in their 20s, it's not a josei, it's actually a shoujo. I triple checked to make But the same author had a manga called Paradise Kiss, which does focus on teenagers, but the story is probably a bit deeper than what's in Nana. Even though Nana's very, very dramatic. So unfortunately, the author got very sick, and it hasn't been updated since I was 17. Very, 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 very long time.
Oh no.
But yeah, it would probably be Paradise Kiss, which I first saw when I was 18, and that kind of got me into the josei, I think.
Okay. I want to say real quick, what's up to the chat? We got Acro in the chat. What's good? Welcome. Also, too, we got. Hold on. Where's my horns, real quick?
Yeah.
Yo, we got 4,587 in the live stream on X right now. So let's go.
Holy crap!
Feel free to say what's up. How's things looking on your end? Do you have anyone talking about it or saying their favorite animes or any thoughts on your chat?
Let me see. Hey says that he believes that the first anime that he ever watched was a seinen, and he was 11. So.
Oh wow.
Fair. That's okay.
I don't know if that was traumatizing or if it was I don't know. Did he say what it was?
Grovesner says that Yusuke didn't have a. No, he didn't say what it was. Wait.
Okay.
But he did say he was 16 when he saw Parakiss, so he was a little younger than me when I saw Paradise Kiss for the first time.
Got it.
I have a little funny story about Paradise Kiss, if I.
Yeah.
I have a little funny
I just
story.
wanted to
Yeah. Oh. You go.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say real quick, shout out Double Quill in here. I know she's a huge fan of anime. So I told her to come through. If once again, anyone in space who wants to weigh in on the conversation, feel free to come up. This is an interactive podcast. OMW, I think you were going to say something too. And then I want to hear about Paradise Kiss, Nikki. OMW, were you going to say something real quick?
Yeah, we actually did have a comment or two in the chat.
Okay.
Majin Jesus said his favorite anime ever and threw a Star Wars gift. So, on behalf of Majin, would any of the Star Wars animated anything fall under any of those categories?
Like
Star Wars Visions would.
Because that first episode in Visions, right?
Yeah, actually, there were multiple that from pretty well-known anime production houses. But if he loves Star Wars, have him go check out the manga series.
Oh, bro, he's seen it, bro. It's Majin Jesus.
And he read all the manga. Okay, there you go. Because those are actually really pretty good retellings of the trilogy. So yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
What category would that fall under, Nikki? Would that be that first category with like Pokemon and Digimon?
Oh, I would probably put it in shonen. I don't think it's made for little kids.
Yeah, it's definitely not made for little kids. I would put it shonen as well.
Yeah,
I would almost put it seinen because
I would
it's
definitely
kind of to old people a little bit. Yeah, like trading on retro,
So yeah, I
hate to say it because I'm saying I'm the audience and I'm old, so yeah.
I think I would put it like maybe on the cusp of either one.
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like sometimes they can kind of like sit there, right, on the like on the fence, like teetering, back and forth. So, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like Attack Attack on Titan, I think, is one of those that goes both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, Attack on
Funny
Titan
way
for
to say
me
that,
is a
but
giant robot show. So it's a straight up shonen show to begin with, right? So it's
There's no
basically
robots in Attack on Titan.
the Titan itself is a giant robot.
No,
You
it's
have to
not,
think it's
brother.
like
It's
an
not a
kind of like a
organic
robot.
giant.
robot.
No, but the
It's
theme,
I know it's not
the
a robot, but
symbolic
it
theme
kind of
of
is
it,
like a robot.
yeah, like when Japanese people watch it and they get it, like the cultural trope that initially hits them
Feels more
is
like a kaiju.
it's like, but what is a kaiju?
yeah.
Kaiju is a monster that is fought by who? By giant robots,
It's
right?
it's
Like
fought
not
by
just
giant robots, but
right.
it's
They
not a
think of,
giant robot.
but that is the Game of Thrones twist, right? So in other words, instead of the giant robot fighting the evil kaiju, the hero has to be the kaiju themselves, right? So it is still in the giant robot or giant monster genre, right? It's the genre right after Godzilla, and I would almost put it like Ultraman era. And to me, because it is in that theme, that's why it kind of straddles shonen and seinen, right? Because like again, you're talking about very old trope that is being refreshed, right? So that's a seinen thing. But shonen kids will get a kick out of it because there's a lot of action, and of course, giant robot genres, there's a lot of action, right? So to me, Attack on Titan is like the perfect renovation of shonen, and then it leans, like you said, a little more into political intrigue and all the rest of that stuff, and it gets more into the seinen territory, but still kind of has that retro shonen
At its
feel, but
yeah,
it's catering to seinens. Yeah.
at its core, at its core, it's definitely a shonen, and that's who it was targeted for.
Yeah. And then John, I saw you had your
Grosvenor
hand up.
McCaffrey says that
Oh,
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Nikki. Go ahead,
hold on, let
Nikki.
me just finish my shout out. Grosvenor McCaffrey says that if we're gonna get technically the Avas from Evangelion aren't really robots either. They're big giant monsters too, aren't they?
that is true. They are.
Okay.
That show was a banger. Oh my goodness, that show was a classic. And then John, go ahead, and then Emoji will get
That show is
to what you were
depressing.
doing. Very.
Yeah,
It
Evangelion
is.
is so crazy, and actually, I love the fact that Hideaki Anno, who did that with Gainax, went on to go ahead and do like Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla and things like that. So he always, he grew up with that, and a lot of the anime that he did when he was directing was influenced by that. And then after he left Gainax, he actually did the live action interpretations of those on the big screen later. So it's very interesting to follow Hideki Anno's career if you guys want to do that. But yeah, to answer the initial question, that's why I put my hands up. To me, Nikki's first suggestion is spot on to new viewers of anime. Like, what do you like? Like, what kind of stories did you like when you were growing up? What do you currently ingest and you really enjoy, right? Like, again, I'm dating myself. Like, back in the day, Edgar Rice Burroughs was the guy, right? And he invented Tarzan, and he invented like John Carter from Mars, right? The Barzoom series. He wrote the story of Princesses of Mars in 1912, right? And I remember in the library seeing what this guy had to go through and all this stuff, and going off to Mars and all this. You know what that was? To me, that's the first isekai, right? And that's a story that like was from 1912, right? And so you just see that kind of hero's journey through, being transported to another world, and just having a theme that like goes all throughout, not just anime, but a whole bunch of different like entertainment, right? So to me, I really like to find the isekais, right? And you can find that across a bunch of the genres that Nikki just brought up, right? But like I like to spot that
Yeah,
theme
there's
and kind of
isekai in
follow that theme.
every single demographic.
It's everywhere, right? And then I also like
Every
when I like
demographic
to take
has
it
an yes,
slower.
everyone.
Yeah, and slice of life. I love slice of life as well. And the same thing, you can even find slice of life in the kids shows, where they're just chilling and they're not doing much, right? But like that. Oh gosh, what was the what's that really famous one that the Koreans really love? I forget it. But in some ways, Doraemon is kind of like slice of lifey as well, because they do the same things day after day all the time, and the blue robot cat just jazzes it up. But the sameness of it is comforting, right? So slice of life is everywhere as well. So to me, I like those like overarching themes, and then you can find them as kind of like sub categories within the major categories, And so yeah, there's a little something for everyone, depending on where you're coming from.
Definitely, definitely. Nikki, I want to jump back over to
Absolutely.
you, but I do want to say real quick for everyone in here, we are doing a giveaway courtesy of our affiliate partners, VeVe Digital Collectibles. All you have to do to enter into the giveaway is to like and repost both the X space and the X live stream. That is pinned to the top of the X space, and it is also on um my page at official emoji. So make sure to do that, and your PFP does have to be in the room when we call the winner. So make sure that you have done that. Nikki, if you want to win, if you don't want to win, then
Oh, and Daughter
you can
John
donate too.
agrees that Evangelions are not giant robots; they're converted angels. There you go.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes,
glad we
yes.
cleared
Thank you,
that up.
daughter John. Continue, John.
Appreciate
Continue, emoji.
appreciate that. All right, Nikki, you were getting into Paradise Kiss.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So here's my funny little story. I got the Paradise Kiss DVD collection for my 18th birthday. And I had a couple friends over, and we were all watching it. And we were watching it with my younger brother, who at the time was like maybe 10. Now, this is a josei that has some mature themes. So we're all watching it, and then the scene pops up where the two characters get a little, down and dirty,
Mhm.
and like all of us just like jumped on my little brother to cover his face. We're like, no, don't look at it, don't look, because none of us were expecting it because we hadn't really seen it from an anime before. We're like, holy crap! I mean, it wasn't anything like scarring, but I just remembered being like, oh, holy crap, that's crazy.
Oh
And I just
man,
thought
oh
that
man.
was a funny story.
Yeah, I mean, but what it's like
I don't
a
think
movie,
10-year-olds should
right?
be
It's like
watching Parakiss.
I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
like it's ultimately like a movie, right? So the same way that there's different age ranges for different movies that you're gonna watch, whether it's G, PG, PG-13, rated R. It's the same
Exactly.
thing with with animes, and I think that sometimes because people see that it's animated, they may have the assumption that it's for kids, but no, it's just another medium of
Yes.
storytelling. So it can be for anyone that the story is written for. But awesome. I have a question. Who won last week OMW? Do you remember? I know Cosmic
It
Disarray
was,
won,
yeah.
and but who else? Because we had two winners. Oh, and
Who?
a Millie. It was Cosmic Disarray and Millie, right?
Yeah, I believe it was
Okay.
on Millie. Yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. All right. So, we're getting to that time where we're about to announce our winner and wrap things up. But did anyone want to weigh anything before we close up? Any thoughts? Any closing words on kind of like just the discussion? And shout out, we got we got 4,991 right now. Yo, we may close out with 5K. We may close out with 5K. Let's get it.
That would be pretty
But
awesome.
it would be awesome. It would
Oh,
be awesome.
Emoji, I really wish we had time to stretch it out and talk about all the subgenres like sports. Like my sister loves haiku. I believe it's the volleyball one,
Haiku. I like
right?
haiku.
Oh yeah,
And
volleyball.
sports
I
genre
yeah.
is like a whole thing. It's like it's gone back like decades and decades and decades of like just like that whole like Rocky montage is in there and all that stuff. Like my
Mhm,
favorite growing up, and I think I shared this last week, was Aim for the Top Gunbuster, right? Done by
mhm,
Gainax as an OEV. That was a parody of the sports genre. Right. And then, of course, they flipped it on its head and it went in crazy. Right. But like
mhm,
all of these kind of tropes are things that the Japanese audience are familiar with. They understand like what the assignment is, but then you're going to get things like Attack on Titan that flip it on its head, right? And I love what you said, Emoji, that there are rated G's, but there are rated R's and rated X's as well. So Western audiences have to be prepared. Just because it's a AKA cartoon doesn't mean it's for all audiences, right? It's not
mhm.
for all ages. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
please try to do your homework first before sharing. Yeah.
And we will break it. I mean,
Yeah,
we will
right?
revisit this. We will we will revisit this. We will break it down, further and go into, some of the other subgenres and things like that and talk about that as well. This was kind of like just the first little glimpse, the first little like, intro into, the some of like the five major like demographics or genres. But definitely, I do want to have another episode where we dive even further into it. But all right,
Absolutely. I
so
think maybe in the
mhm.
future. Oh, sorry. Maybe in the
No, no,
future
no,
we
go
could
ahead.
have an episode that goes into each. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe in the future when we have, we can go into have an episode that goes into each one or something like that. That might be fun to do, where we can
Of course,
really get in depth in these demographics.
for sure, for sure. So definitely, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for what's next in store. All right. Do y'all have anything? Actually, you know what? Should I call? Maybe I should call the winner, and then we can do closing thoughts. What do you guys think?
Ooh, that sounds fun. I
Sounds
like
good to
that.
me.
Maybe they can come up on stage too. You never know.
If they want to, if they want to. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, actually no, I'm just gonna keep it going. Our winner
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
is Majin Jesus. Yo, you win everything, bro. Like you win. Like what is going on? Like you win everything. You win.
The
That's
force is strong within that one. That's what's going on.
That's why I had to ask, like, who won last week, just to be sure, because he wins so many different things. I'm like, yo, did he win? But no, it was Cosmic Disarray and Millie that won last week. So, Majin Jesus, you are our winner. Congrats, congrats, congrats. If you want to come up, feel free to.
Congratulations.
If you want to come up, feel free to. You don't have to. Your PFP is here. That's all that needs to be done. But if you do want to come up and say something before we close out, of course, you are always welcome. But while I guess he debates that, we did break the 5K. We are at 5,087 right now. Oh.
I haven't seen something like that since we got together, Mochi, and we talked about Peach Momoko. Remember in the what do you call it, Ultimate X-Men #1 feed? How much that was crazy. How many people? But like that just shows you how much interest there is in exactly what you guys are talking about. Anime is definitely getting more and more and more traction, even mainstream, right? You start to see DC and Marvel even getting into it, like Western production companies getting interested.
Yeah.
Like DC put out a freaking Batman isekai, and I'm like, what the heck is going on right now? Or Suicide Squad, I'm sorry, isekai. So it's everywhere.
Suicide Squad
Definitely.
isekai. Yes, that's right.
Definitely.
I think they got a Hololive singer to do the opening. One of the VTubers did the opening,
They
I believe,
did.
but one
Yeah,
of the
oh my gosh.
popular VTubers.
And we can totally get into the whole idol subgenre too. That is wild stuff. It's just like it gets pretty crazy when you start getting into the J-pop idols. But yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And we also have Majin Jesus on stage.
Our winner, let's go. What's good? What's good? Congrats.
Yo, y'all, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for the show. Y'all, obviously, I'm loving this show. This show is so dope, man. I love it. Thank y'all so much for this.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you for coming through and being
Thank
a part
you
of
for
it, man.
listening.
Appreciate.
Yeah, no, of course. And I do have an anime I would recommend. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a little known anime from a little known company.
Oh Lord, wait, hold. You
Hold
know
on,
what?
wait,
I'm gonna let you
I just got
recommend
a
it to Nikki.
comment.
Uh-huh.
Wait, hold on. Let me just read this comment out that we got. Emoji, this one's for me and you. And it's from Lovely.
Okay.
And it says, Emoji and Nicki Gee, I remember being there when your With You song came out. Y'all made my childhood for real.
Oh snap!
Oh,
Yo,
that's so
that is
nice.
crazy. Oh, yo, tell them thank you.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Really, that made my night. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Okay, what are you recommending to me?
Jesus, what anime are you recommending? I already know what it is, but you know what? I'm
don't know.
gonna let him.
It might be from a studio y'all might not have heard of, Studio Ghibli. It's called Grave of the Fireflies. You know what I mean? I heard it's pretty good.
I've never seen
That
They're
is
very
such
funny.
an
Ha,
evil
ha, ha.
recommendation.
Yeah.
No.
He's trying to cause people trauma. He's
He's
trying to
cause
traumatize
chaos
people.
at the end of the show. No.
What do you mean? It sounds like a good name. Like
I
it
don't
sounds like
know.
a good
On my way, watch it. Don't even look nothing up.
I don't
on my
know
way,
if
just watch it,
anybody.
bro.
I don't know if
Yep,
anybody's
Nikki, you
ever
got
heard
it.
of the anime Clannad, but that's pretty much just as evil too, man.
I never
I've heard of
finished
it. I've
If you
never
Clannad.
don't want to
seen
be
it.
sad, don't watch that.
No, Clannad
Really?
is such a sad
It's-
ending.
Wait,
Oh
wait.
my gosh.
How do I spell that? How do I spell that?
Now Monty's gonna look it up. He said, "Ooh, let me find."
CLANNAD.
Oh man, oh man.
You just want to
But
cry
there
like
you
every other
go.
episode. I recommend Clannad for you.
There you go, Maja. You got a new anime to watch to you know,
I appreciate y'all for sure.
to fill your life with tears.
Thank you.
All
brother.
right. So, closing thoughts as we wrap things up with 5,166 on the live stream. All right, closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. How are you guys feeling about this episode?
I
Nikki,
think
go
this one was even better than the last one, man.
Let's go. I
think
told you
it's
they're gonna
only
get better.
from here. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun
Awesome,
with this
awesome.
one.
And it sounds like your chat had a lot of fun too.
Oh yeah, man.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yay!
Never mind. I thought I saw something.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
And,
seems like everybody
um,
had a good time. I had a good time.
Awesome. Awesome. And OMW, how you feeling, bro?
Oh man, I'm feeling wonderful. This was good. It was nice to learn, more about anime that I didn't know that this was a thing. So, thank you, Nikki, for the knowledge. I appreciate that. And I'm excited for the next one.
Hope I broadened all your horizons.
You did, and you know what, and this is such a deep topic because it goes into even more than just more than this. Like you have other things that these subgenres that are part of these other broader genres. So I feel like this is a lot to. This is more than just one episode's worth of material, and we will map out some more episodes diving into more things. We may even kind of like just break down even just certain things like slice of lives and what makes those appealing and things like that. So definitely I'm looking forward to kind of like dissecting and going further into it. But I do want to say at some point, and I know I'm not to put you on the spot or anything like that, but at some point we will be getting some live performances, right? At some point.
Yeah,
one
we
day?
just have
One
to
of these
figure out how
days.
to do
One of
that.
these days. Okay, all right. Let's go.
We'll figure it out.
So definitely. I mean, we're local, so it takes me like 20 minutes to get to you. So we can definitely figure that out.
Nikki, did Emoji
That's
ever
true.
make you sing a whole new world from Aladdin? Did he ever force you to sing that as a duet?
I actually did.
He wanted
I
me.
knew it.
Yes, he did.
I knew it.
It was
Enough
actually pretty
said.
funny. I
Nothing
think
more needs to
the
be
first
said.
time I was in back of the class, he was like, "Should we do a whole new world?" And then he was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna let you do your own Disney song. I'm not gonna sing with you." I was like, "Okay." What? Do you remember that
Because
emotion?
she
And you
killed
you
it. She
backed out on
killed
me.
Jasmine's part. You killed it. Like I was like, I thought I was like good with like the Aladdin part and everything like that, and then you came and did Jasmine's part. And I'm like, all right, you
Never
know what? Let
mind.
me just let you cover the Disney songs from here, and but nah, we'll
That was so
we'll
funny.
do something. We'll cook something up for sure.
We'll
But
figure something out.
definitely. But I do like closing out. We close out on With You, but then after the live stream closes, we'll close out on one of your songs for the space, so it doesn't get like copyright strikes. But I do like doing that because it just gives people more look further look into your music, especially those that are here, right, that are here in real time, that are here in the space.
Mhm.
It's like a little extra treat for them. So I will close out the show with You, but after With You I'll close
If
out once the stream.
if you could play my newest song, I would very much appreciate that.
From what, I had that on deck, and that was one that I was thinking about. And you're talking about from Apocryphy Diaries, the one that's on your You know what? Let me
No,
just.
no.
Let me just.
My
Let me
newest
just.
release.
Oh, it's not on.
I would
It's not
just.
on things yet. I got you. I got you. So it's not on.
Oh, okay. Then just play.
It's on YouTube, right?
All right. Apothecary Diaries one is fine. Yes, it's on YouTube. I haven't put it on Spotify yet. Whatever is
Got
easier.
it. I mean, I can do it. No, I can do YouTube. I can do it. Is that what you want?
Okay, cool. Cool.
Let's
Yes, please.
go.
I would appreciate it
All
very
right.
much.
Awesome. So we'll do that. But in the meantime, hold on real quick. Let me
Hey, yo,
stop.
Emoji, before
Mhm.
you run something, I need to let
Yes.
you know, brother.
Yes.
Okay? Your outfit
It's
is
tough.
so clean,
Yo, it's
bro.
tough, right? Yo,
It's
I'm
so clean,
I
my
came in like a shinobi, bro. I came in like I
bro.
already knew what time it was, man. I already knew what
Bro.
time it was. Hidden leaf all day, bro.
Yo, crazy work.
Yo, and the
Crazy
chibi on
work.
my way is getting a lot of comments too. Don't sell yourself short on my way.
That is it. That
Bro.
is. See, didn't I told you to go tell you to go with the chibi on my way thing? I told you it fit the aesthetic. It fits the aesthetic, bro.
Thank you.
But I appreciate that. All right, are we ready? Are we ready to close this thing up?
Yep.
We got our
Yeah, I
winner.
think
We're gonna
so.
close up on with you, and then after that, stay tuned because we will run Nicki's newest song. Actually, you know what? It would be a good idea for me to have that pulled up. I'll
Meanwhile,
pull.
I'll just say the daughter John can't wait to talk if you guys have an after party space so she can say all the stuff that she wanted to say, but she didn't get to
After
say.
yeah, after the live stream, I'm fine.
Yep.
It's and it's up. I mean, Nikki, how are you doing on time?
I'm fine.
Okay, all right, yeah. So let's close
I
the
can
live
keep
stream and
going.
then we can chill in and then we can chill in the space for a little bit for whatever. So here we go. Hey, let's go. Yo, we are closing out the show. 5,342 in attendance. Shout out the live stream. Appreciate everyone that came through. Appreciate everyone in the space. Appreciate everyone on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever you are right now. Thank you for coming through. We got to talk about anime. We got to dissect. We got to go in depth. And this was dope. This was a dope evening. My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co-host, Nicki Gee, OMW, and together we're bringing you a little something we like to call Anime After Hours. We run that every Thursday. Pre-show starts 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to come through and shout out our affiliate partners, VeVe Digital Collectables, for facilitating the giveaway for today. Shout out our winners, Majin Jesus and John, and we will see you next week. Until then, peace.